Hello there, Star Wars fans, and welcome back to another Rebelscum.com video review. And today we are reviewing the Black Series Ralph McQuarrie concept Obi-Wan Kenobi and Darth Vader 2-pack. Now, this is a 2-pack that was done for the 45th anniversary of Star Wars. And it's a good one. So this was another one of those shopdisney.com Disney Park exclusive 2-packs. Now, I believe you could just find this at Downtown Disney or Disney Springs. I don't think you had to go all the way into Galaxy's Edge just to find this if, you went to pick it up in person. Of course, it was also at D23 as well. But we got a hold of ours, and it looks awesome. This is a 2-pack I have been looking forward to since I started collecting Black Series. Now, when I say that, I don't mean I specifically was sitting there as a Black Series and Star Wars fan just like, man, I hope they release a Obi-Wan Kenobi and Darth Vader 2-pack specifically for the Ralph McQuarrie figures. What I mean by that is I have been looking forward to Ralph McQuarrie concept art figures in the Black Series line since I started collecting Black Series, which I've been collecting Black Series since 2015, I think, is when I got into Black Series. So right around when Black Series was really taking off, So this is an awesome 2-pack. Like I said, highly anticipated by at least myself, and I'm sure many other fans who love Ralph McQuarrie's work and some of the foundational things he did for Star Wars. And it's a good one. It's a really good one. If I had to pick another figure I would have rather seen paired off with Vader, I would probably say Luke, especially since there's a good amount of Ralph McQuarrie concept art where it's Luke versus Vader. There's that awesome hallway one where Luke's in his scuba gear and he's got that awesome yellow lightsaber facing off against Vader. That's a figure I would have loved to have seen in this 2-pack, but who knows, maybe there will be more in the future. I don't think Hasbro has officially said as to if they're doing more Ralph McQuarrie concept art stuff for Black Series or not. Of course, they can't say until they officially reveal it, whether that's a full-on reveal or a pipeline reveal. That's just kind of how the song and dance goes at this point. But fingers crossed that they do have more coming, because this is absolutely my favorite Vader action figure now at this point. And I haven't even showed you guys it out of the box yet. I love the McQuarrie design so much. Hasbro did a great job on this figure. Hasbro did a great job on the Ben figure as well. So here they are in the packaging. There's some Kenobi artwork on the side. There's some Vader artwork on that side. There they both are on the back with some words and things. And this is in the Phase 4 packaging of A New Hope, in case I did not make that clear yet. They're not doing a concept art edition of Phase 4, at least not starting out with this. And since this is based off of concept art for New Hope, that's why it's in a New Hope packaging. And again, it's the 45th anniversary of Star Wars, meaning Star Wars A New Hope. But of course, back then it was just Star Wars. So there we go. Anyway, that's pretty much it for the box. Let's get these bad boys out of here. And of course, since I've already, kind of opened up that dialogue of discussion in the comments below and or in the forums, please name a Ralph McQuarrie concept art piece or previously existing figure in 3 3/4 scale that you would like to see make the leap into Black Series 6-inch scale. Me specifically, like I said, I would have liked to have seen Luke in this 2-pack over Vader, but of course, given the timing of when this pack came out, it's most likely we got Obi-Wan and Vader because, this pack was announced right around when Obi-Wan, the series, dropped on Disney+. So it makes sense as to why we got Obi-Wan in the timing of it all. And Obi-Wan's a great pair-off against Vader anyway, because they have their big lightsaber duel on the Death Star. So, of course, Obi-Wan makes total sense. But again, I think a Luke in this line would be really cool too. Starting off with Kenobi here, he's looking really nice in that blue and white outfit. And I also like how similar it is to the original Ralph McQuarrie concept art Obi-Wan figure that we got in the 30th anniversary. I believe that one was an SDCC exclusive packed with Yoda. It's got that concept art hairline there. I like how pronounced his jawline is. He has got a very strong looking face. Not that Alec Guinness didn't. I'm just saying, like, he looks like that one football guy who does a lot of commercials and stuff. You know, that old football guy whose name I don't know because I'm not a sports ball man. I'm sorry. I'm sorry if you're a football fan and you're watching this, and you probably know who I'm talking about, but maybe not. Who knows? If somebody knows who I'm talking about, throw it up in the comments and be like, yeah, this moron doesn't know who blah 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 is. That guy's he's a super famous sports ball player, and he did all those touchdowns and things. You know, how does he not know that? Again, I'm sorry, I'm not a sports ball guy. You look at my physique, you can tell I'm not a sports ball guy. I'm sorry, I'm a Star Wars guy. Star Wars, I love Star Wars. It's great. Anyway, awesome face sculpt. That's the point I was trying to get to before I went on that sports ball tangent. Awesome face sculpt. He has those. He has those. That he's got the red border on his cuffs like he has in the concept art and like he has on the other figure. He's got his awesome little belt and stuff right here. Overall, the mold looks really good. I mean, aside from the head, all they did was really just repaint the Obi-Wan Kenobi figure, the Ben Kenobi figure from Black Series Phase 3, number 32 / 40th anniversary Star Wars card. That's really all they did here. Now, granted, the Ralph McQuarrie concept design is not super significantly different in his outfit. I feel like it would have been nicer had Hasbro molded a fully original mold that was more accurate as to the concept art versus just repainting the Kenobi figure and then doing a unique head sculpt to fit the concept art. But overall, it still makes for a good figure, and it still looks like the overall Ralph McQuarrie concept art Obi-Wan Kenobi, just with their own little spin on it. Now, his lightsaber, of course, is very Ralph McQuarrie concept art reminiscent. Nice thin blade with the wide burst of, you know, lightsaber down towards the hilt, down towards the emitter. This has got that flashlight looking lightsaber that many kids back in the late 70s, early 80s played with because we didn't have a lot of lightsaber toys back then. Blade is removable. Just pops right out of the hilt. Now, you can't really put the hilt on his belt, unfortunately, which is another reason why I'm like, I kind of wish they altered the mold just a little bit. That way you could at least put the Ralph McQuarrie concept art hilt on his belt. You still have the same belt loop that the regular Ben Kenobi figure comes with, but neither lightsaber that came in this 2-pack comes with a loop to put on either one of their belts. So there's really no way to store their lightsaber. Now you can just take the lightsaber that came with the regular Ben Kenobi, of course, if it has the actual loop piece, and not every version of Obi-Wan Kenobi's lightsabers in the Black Series line across the line have the loop. Sometimes they peg into the belt, but Ben Kenobi's does have the loop. So if you have the other lightsaber hilt, you can just loop it onto his belt right there, and that's totally okay. But, you know, I feel like they should have either made some mold change to the belt itself to where you could actually put his lightsaber hilt on it, or just add a loop to the end of the lightsaber hilt so you can put it on his belt. Either way, some kind of thought should have been put into this other than okay, here's the lightsaber, we got to get the lightsaber right, we got to get the head right, and then, you know, just paint it the rest of the way to look like McQuarrie concept art Obi-Wan Kenobi, which is what they did. That is what they did. As awesome as this pack is, that is what they did. Now, for comparison, and I'm doing it like this mostly because of the colors, but for comparison, here he is next to Force Ghost Obi-Wan Kenobi. You can see that the color scheme is very similar there. I mean, a little bit more indigo violet-ish with Kenobi's robe here because, again, he's a ghost. But, yeah, you got the blue and the whites on Ben. And, again, just to kind of compare and see the differences in faces, it is significantly different from what we got with Alec Guinness, of course, because this was before Kenobi was even cast, versus getting Sir Alec Guinness to play the legendary role of Obi-Wan Kenobi. And again, if you look closely enough, you can see this is, yeah, the body is just a repainted Ben Kenobi body, even up here. even up on the upper torso where it looks the most different. It's just how they painted it. But it is the same overall torso mold. So, just so you know. Fully articulated, head is on a ball joint, and then the rest of the body has the same exact articulation as Ben Kenobi before him. Articulated shoulders, single elbow joints, wrist joints, upper waist, and then just like with the Ben Kenobi figure, because this is not cloth goods, again, while his legs are fully articulated, he does have hip articulation, he does have upper thigh, he does have double jointed knees, and he does have ankles. Basically, all of that articulation is hindered by this mold's design because of this soft rubbery plastic part of the robe. You get almost none of that articulation unless you just bring his leg out of the side of his skirt there. You almost get to see none of that articulation or actually get to act on it very well because, again, while it doesn't completely hinder the articulation, it hinders it enough to where you can really get some good, meaningful poses out of him because of it. So, it is what it is. Still a cool figure, but let's be honest, I was looking forward more to Vader anyway. Now, they did the same thing with Vader that they did with Kenobi, and what I mean by that is they only really changed one thing, remolded one thing, and then the rest of this is just on a regular Darth Vader body from Black Series. So the helmet's new. More specifically, the face on the helmet is new. Very Ralph McQuarrie looking. It looks amazing. But from the shoulders down, it is just a regular Darth Vader mold. They did do the frayed tips on the cape. I don't know if they quite... I don't know if they did it quite right, or maybe I just got a weird QC issue copy because it's supposed to be a little bit more Batman-like, I think, if I remember correctly with the cape. So it's interesting, just the way that the edges are cut. It just looks like as they sent it down the line, you know, they just had some individual with a pair of scissors just randomly cutting strange angles into it, like you would a coffee filter snowflake for the holidays. And they did it on here too. You know, it just, I don't know, it just looks kind of funny. It looks kind of uneven on both the lower part of his robe and, of course, overall his cape. He has the same articulation as a Vader. Head is on a ball joint, fully articulated shoulders, in and out. No bicep joints, single jointed elbows, wrist joints, waist, hips, which cloth goods, so you can actually move his legs. It's weird that Vader has more articulation than Kenobi here. Upper thigh, double jointed knees, ankle joints. A good Vader figure. Overall, a great Vader figure. Still my favorite, despite, you know, the fact that they didn't do the rest of the Ralph McQuarrie design on the figure, and they clearly didn't, because there's a lot more differences between the regular Vader suit and the final figure we have right here. I don't know what was going on with that, Hasbro. You guys did an awesome Ralph McQuarrie Vader figure in 3 3/4 scale, and you absolutely nailed it. With 2 swappable heads, I might add, back in the long lost years of 2007. So what happened here, Hasbro? What happened here? I like the effort. Shoulders up. Y'all did a great job, shoulders up. But shoulders down, y'all cut corners again. And I'm legitimately starting to feel bad for having to point it out as a reviewer, because I like to look at the positive things that you guys do, and I like to look at the positive things that a lot of creative and awesome people do to build on what Star Wars has done and what Disney has also further done with it, which they've done some great things. And lately, I just, like a lot of other people have been doing, I just feel like I'm giving more critiques than I'm giving praises on what should be really simple. You know, really simple in idea, really simple in execution, and then here we get the final product, and you know, there's details either missing or just blatantly done incorrectly. And this is definitely one of those cases. As I started this video very positively, very cheerfully, saying I'm super excited for this. I've been looking forward to this for years. I get them out of the package and start looking at them a little bit closer for you guys, the audience, and for you, Hasbro, to talk about your accomplishment here. And I'm seeing more things wrong than I'm seeing right. And that's a trend that's been happening for a good while now with the Black Series line overall, where corners that should not be cut have been cut, with some corners cut deeper than others. And it hurts, like I said, it hurts me to say it, because I don't want to sit here and say these things. I don't want to sit here and talk negatively about a figure that I was super excited for. And I'm very excited for it. I still really like this figure overall. It's just seeing it more in person, I'm just seeing, wait a minute. The chest panel is just a regular Vader chest panel. It's not supposed to look like that on the concept art. His shoulders are close, but again, not necessarily supposed to look like that on the concept art. He's also not like this, quite this blue in the concept art. He is black in the concept art, so interesting. And same deal with the lightsaber on this guy. You know, I mentioned it with the Kenobi. It is the same lightsaber, but we've got a loop on the belt here, and no way to put the lightsaber on the belt if we want to display it that way. I can just take another Vader lightsaber from another Vader figure, but I shouldn't have to do that, and I shouldn't have to do that with this figure to display them with or without their lightsabers ignited. That's not on me. That's not on the collector. That's not on the purchaser. That's on you, the manufacturer, to get it right, one, and to two, keep that in consideration. So, I don't know. I don't know what was going on there. Like I said, it hurts me to say it, but it has to be said. But regardless, with all of that in mind, again, it's still a cool figure. The head sculpt is awesome, very Ralph McQuarrie looking. It just could have been executed a little bit better, just like a few other things recently in the Black Series. Great, two really awesome and really cool figures overall. It's just, Hasbro, stop cutting corners. If you're gonna do it, please, do it right. For comparison, here is Vader next to Vader. So you can see the two of them side by side. This is the newest Obi-Wan Kenobi Vader next to the McQuarrie concept art Vader. Again, a very cool figure. Overall, he looks awesome. It's just some of those details I think should have been focused on just a little bit more. Guys, thank you so much for tuning into today's review featuring the Black Series Ralph McQuarrie Concept Art 2-pack of Darth Vader and Obi-Wan Kenobi. As much as I was looking forward to these figures, and there are a few things that, yeah, I was a little bummed out about, I still do like this figure pack overall, and I still think it's a really cool figure pack that we even got in the first place. The fact that it was attempted is still kind of a big deal to me. I just wish it was executed a little bit more accurately. And to my friends at Hasbro, you know I love you guys. You know I love talking to you guys. It brings me great joy to actually see you guys in person at cons and when we do Zoom meetings and interviews that of course are later posted here on Rebelscum.com, and I just get to share your wonderful personalities with the rest of the world, and hey, you guys are real people too. And I do want to say that I'm sorry to you if you maybe feel a little bit down about some of the critiques I made about this pack or some other Black Series pieces in the past that may have been worked very passionately on by some of the Star Wars team, because I know there's a little bit of give and take between what goes on with the Star Wars team, some of the other people at Hasbro outside of the Star Wars team, with Lucasfilm, and et cetera, et cetera. I know there's a lot of give and take, and I know that compromises have to be made on your end, and I'm sure artistically speaking, there are some people who specifically worked on this 2-pack who probably put a lot of effort into sculpting a very accurate Ralph McQuarrie Vader and a very accurate Ralph McQuarrie Obi-Wan, and some things fell through the cracks. cracks because someone higher up said, well, this will significantly cut cost for us if we just do it this way. And that's not on you, and it's not fair to put that on you. So in keeping with being fair, I totally get it. I totally see it. And I hope you guys, the viewer, also get that too. Because truly, the guys over at Hasbro, the people on the Star Wars team, Patrick, Chris, Emily, etc., they all really love Star Wars also. They're just like us. They're just like me. They're just like you. Yes, you. Yes, you who's watching right now. They are just like you. They're super passionate. They love this stuff. If you get to see and talk to them in person, if you have that privilege at a con, I encourage you to do it. Say hi to them, say thank you or something for all the hard work that they do, because they do a lot of hard work and they do a lot of great work. And yeah, sometimes things fall through the cracks, but that's everywhere in life. It happens. Overall, it's an awesome pack. Is it perfect? Far from it. But is it still cool? Yes. Am I still happy to have it in my collection? Absolutely. Do I think you should add it to yours? Yeah, if you like Ralph McQuarrie concept art stuff, absolutely. Add it to your collection. It's still a really nice 2-pack, and there's still 2 very nice figures. If you like Vader, add it to your collection. This is an awesome Vader. If you like Kenobi, add it to your collection. That's an awesome Kenobi. And if not, well, maybe pass on this one and wait for the next one, because there's definitely going to be more Vaders and Kenobis in the future. And hopefully, fingers crossed, there's more Ralph McQuarrie concept art stuff in the future. Guys, thank you for tuning in, and thank you for enduring my ranting, of course, as well. Stay tuned for more Black Series reviews. Stay tuned for more awesome Rebelscum.com reviews. Check out our daily content. There's something new every single day on Rebelscum.com. Make sure you like and subscribe and follow us on social media to keep up with that kind of stuff. And check out Rebelscumshop.com for some awesome swag and merch. Like the shirt I'm wearing today, the #Unpunched shirt. We'll see you guys later. We'll see you another time. And as always, may the Force be with all of you, you Rebel scum. And truly, I do love you all.